So what is Alistair scheming? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 5 of Hazbin Hotel Season 2, specifically. I'm getting to this a little earlier than I expected, than I planned, and there's a specific reason for that. So I'm getting to this the day this actually came out, which is Wednesday the 12th. And the reason for that, I'm just going to say from a basic standpoint, is scheduling. There's going to be some scheduling stuff where I'm going to need some free time at the times I would, I guess, normally record this kind of stuff. And I'm just trying to schedule things out in a way that works better for me at the moment. So this just, I need to at least get to this episode right away. The next episode I can push off just a little bit more, but I'm probably going to be getting to that earlier than I normally would as well. We'll see. But yeah, obviously it doesn't matter much to you guys because you're still seeing it weekly. So this is more of just like, I'm getting through this a little quicker than I would like personally, but yeah, just wanted to let you all know, just wanted to be transparent as always. So last time we had a really good episode that like really gave us a lot. It gave us backstory for Alistair. It revealed Rosie as being the one to be holding his soul and his chains. It revealed a lot about Vox and his connections with Alistair. We got a nifty song, which I had been waiting for because, as I've talked about, Kimiko Glenn is such a phenomenal singer, and I was just waiting for her to be able to have a song. We got a lot. We got a lot. And it was another episode with 3 songs. Which episode 2 had 3 songs as well instead of just 2. So 2 and 4. I wonder if episode 6 is going to have 3 songs. Apparently, I have heard that VivziePop said, like, prior to this season coming out and all, that this season was going to have more songs than the last. I didn't know that ahead of time, but I'm not complaining. So yeah, I guess there's just going to be more songs, which, yeah, we're clearly seeing. There's at least 2 per episode, but some are clearly having 3. I don't think we're going to get more than that because anything more than that basically takes up the entire episode's runtime practically. But yeah. One of the biggest things that happened last episode, though, is that Alistair, as, like, I guess part of a scheme to try and get himself out of his contract with Rosie, he, for some reason, has chosen to give himself up to Vox, to be Vox's prisoner for some time frame. We don't exactly know how long. Under the condition that under one condition they let Nifty and Husk go, but that was just kind of, I think, just because they ended up being there, because they saw, Nifty saw that Alistair was in danger. But more importantly, that he not, that he leaves Charlie alone, basically. And so I'm very curious as to where that's going to go. That helps Charlie in the hotel, but I mean, obviously the season's not done, and with Vox being clearly the main antagonist of the season, I don't know where this is going. But last episode definitely confirmed for us a few different things, such as the fact that Alistair is just a very bad fucking person. Like, you can find him entertaining and all, so that's completely fine. But you have to admit, like, there's no question now as to, like, his alignment in all of this. He is not on Charlie's side, and I don't think he's going to be. There's kind of the question prior if Alistair could get redeemed, and the last episode actually kind of confirmed for me, at least, that he will never get redeemed. In fact, I actually think Alistair will be the final villain in Hazbin Hotel. Period. Like, after any other villains we have, after the likes of Loot, after any other angels or angelic beings we might have to deal with, after the V's, after any other overlords that might become a problem, or anyone else like that. Lilith, if she even is a villain, we don't know. I think Alistair is probably going to be the main final villain. I think that's what it's setting up for. It definitely gives me those vibes. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. But it's definitely giving me that kind of feeling. And I would actually be completely okay with this. I know there's a lot of people who really want to see him redeemed, and just because they really like him, just because of the charisma and shit. But it's like, I actually think he would be more interesting to remain a villain. Because, like, everything we saw from even when he was a human and stuff, like, he had no good in him whatsoever. And I think Alistair would actually be a great, like, example for Charlie to see that some people just can't be redeemed. I think Alistair, of all characters, would be a great way to prove that. But we'll see. We'll see. Either way, like, I don't know where we're going to go from here, though. With Alistair being, like, kept encaged, for lack of a better word, by Vox right now. Like, this is obviously part of a plan he has, but I don't know what that's going to be. Also, by the way, that bench that was in front of the statue of Charlie, Lilith, and Lucifer, apparently it said, it was very small text, but it said, in memory of Susan or whatnot. So it's like Susan, I guess, is dead again. Did she die in, like, the attack by Adam? Did the angels kill her? I don't know. That's the only thing I could assume, because it's like, how else would she die? She's a sinner. It's like, that's not really how it works, right? I don't know. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do with Loot still. I think Loot might even be more of the final villain of this season, more than Vox. I think Loot's going to be a problem that we just still haven't gotten to, while Vox is more of, like, the recurring villain of the season. That's my guess. But I'm very excited to find out more. I, as usual, don't know anything. I've been staying away from spoilers as much as possible, so I don't know anything coming up at this point. I don't know. I haven't heard about any songs or plot points or anything. So I'm excited to get to this, and hopefully I'll be able to put a little more time in between this episode and the next episode, so I don't have to rush these out too much. But like I said, it's a scheduling thing. There's, honestly, as we get further into this month, there's going to be a lot of scheduling shit going on because of Thanksgiving and various things like that. I have to plan around that. Because if I'm looking here at my calendar, Thanksgiving is the last Thursday of the month, so that's 2 weeks from tomorrow. I mean, mind you, at the point you're seeing this, it might be after Thanksgiving. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to calculate that, and trying to do that in my head right now would confuse me. But it's like, yeah, this, it's just, there's a lot of stuff going on this month. So I just, even though it's not affecting your guys' viewing of these episodes, I just wanted to be open and honest with you guys nonetheless. So that all being said, though, let's get into this episode, see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Fuck. I'm gonna have to get to the next episode pretty quickly after this. Like, I hate binging shows. I've talked about this before because I have a lot of like issues with how that like affects the sustainability of the show and how it affects the just general viewer entertainment as you watch. I feel that it's more enjoyable when you have that time between to think about it, to process things better. And I'm not going to get to this like today or anything. I'm not going to do this on the same day. But I might be like getting to this a little quicker than I thought just because I it's one of those times where I'm just invested and I want to see more. Maybe taking a day or two off though will like help me calm down from it and allow me to like just breathe and able to uh able to even put maybe another day or two after that between. I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm hoping not to get to it until next week. Like I'm hoping for like Monday, maybe Tuesday, but we'll see. Obviously again, this doesn't affect you guys. You're seeing it like weekly, so so this episode was like, yeah, a big turning point. While last episode was a massive deal as kind of like the mid-season finale, this is the mid-season premiere. This continues that intense, like, just overall vibe to it. It continues to be as, like, exceptionally important and just, like, these big moments after big moments. And it ends on a really dour note. It ends really poorly for everyone. Everything has gone wrong. Everything is at its worst. And that means there's nowhere we can go from here but up. I think that this is like the big like downfall of the season. You know how like a lot of shows and just a lot of media in general will have like the lowest point where everything is wrong, everything has gone bad, the characters are at each other's throats, former friends or allies or partners can be like, really upset with each other. Everything seems like it's going to go in the way of the bad guys. But then from that point on, things start to elevate back up and start to become better again. It's a trope that you see in most things, I would say. Most content, whether it's run like in that way seasonal or in terms of arcs, in terms of certain shows like anime and whatnot. God, that is getting right in my face. A lot of media like this has that. A lot of games have that lowest point as well. And there can be other points where it gets bad or other points where things like start to have a little bit of a downfall, but it's like that lowest singularity where everything is just at its worst. That is definitely the end of this episode. God, that is so bright. That is right in my face. Oh my god. Oh. There's not much I can do about it either. Like, I can kind of lean back a little so that it's like my face is more like against the bar there, the bar of the window. But then I'm like leaning all the way back like this, and it's like that's not helping. The sun has been behind the clouds most of today, and then like when I start to record this, it's like, hi, I'm going to blast you in the face and just destroy your eyesight, and but yeah, it's like between what Vaggie and Lucifer did with Charlie's hyperfixations and just obviously Vox twisting everything has gone wrong. And let's talk about the Charlie aspect first. Charlie, this entire season, pretty much since she found out at the start of episode 3, which, I mean, I guess is not this entire season so far, but has been hyper-fixating on proving the hotel has worked. Because she believes Emily, obviously. She knows that Serpentius is redeemed, but she needs to prove it. And the problem is, Vox and just the V's in general have taken that and are using it to manipulate and goad her into saying and doing the wrong things. They want to create this doubt amongst the citizens that she and her family are not fit to be the leaders, so that they can take over hell and then eventually go after heaven, because we know that's Fox's goal here. But it's one of those things that's going to be more easily done when, you know, the people that they're going after, Charlie, Lucifer, etc., are giving them that fuel. And unfortunately, because Charlie is so excited about this and so hyperfixated on making sure that this works and proving that it can work, so that they can, you know, get the hotel more out there, get it more populated, and help others find their redemption as well. Because of that, it's fueling Vox and the V's. And they know this. And that's why in episode 3, when they came to the hotel, they started to manipulate her. They started to goad her into saying and doing certain things. Like, every time, like, they turned away and their backs were to her, you saw how they were looking at each other. Vox and Velvet were specifically saying things to lead her into this kind of emotion. Yes, Charlie, like I had said before, is absolutely still responsible for her own actions, her own words, her own thoughts here. But that can be the case while at the same time the V's are manipulating her. Both of those can exist at the same time. Both of those can absolutely be true. And that's what we're seeing here. The V's are taking her already over-exaggerated hyperfixations and elevating them. Again, to breed this distrust in her. And so we see Lucifer come in this episode, and he tries to intimidate Vox, but Vox isn't the kind of guy who's going to be intimidated by that, by a show of strength and angelic power. So Vox then twists that in his favor. And so when Charlie and the angels come in, he's able to utilize what Lucifer already did, as well as utilize the angels' own words and manipulate them. He manipulated Sarah. He got her to, like, not only show her, like, true form, but to basically, like, admit that they are the kinds of demons that are the reason why she okayed the eradications, the executions in the first place. Not to mention, of course, Loot being there wasn't helping. She tried to start shit once or twice, but it's like everything was set up. And the gift baskets, while it would normally be a good idea, Vox is like, sees those and is like, oh, so our souls, our lives are only amount to taffy, to a teddy bear. It's like he's able to twist this. Like, again, everybody's been saying this season, like Vaggie and other characters have been pointing this out. This is what Vox does. This is what the V's do. This is their entire thing. Manipulating and taking people's worst attributes and heightening them are what they do. And so we're seeing that in full force. Again, Charlie and the others who are messing up. But Vox is escalating that for his own favor. Both can be true. We have 3 songs in this one. There's the song at the beginning, which is like the okay being bad or whatever the fuck. It reminded me of a song from Descendants. There's a song in I think it's the first or second Descendants movie that's basically like it's good being bad or something like that. It's fun and ridiculous and silly, of course, but it reminded me of that. We get to hear some of the other overlords such as ZZ and Maestro speak and sing, and yeah, it's a fun song. The second song is obviously with Lucifer and Vox. I think this song is probably going to end up being called Vox Populi or something, because that was the big thing that Vox was saying during his portion of it and all. And then, of course, there's the song afterwards at the end, or near the end. And that one is probably the least memorable to me. I think the first one might have been my favorite, but again, this is just based off of first initial impression, and that might change on rewatches and stuff. So I'm not even going to try to say like right now exactly which is my favorite or where these would rank. I definitely have to listen to these ones again. Um, but moving on to Vaggie and her choices here, getting Lucifer to help and everything was a good idea, but she should not have done it behind Charlie's back. I think Vaggie was in the wrong here too. Both of them were. Both Charlie and Vaggie fucked up. Charlie, you could say more so. But honestly, Charlie's idea of like having the angels like talk about everything wasn't a terrible idea. Just like Vaggie's idea to have uh to talk to Lucifer about it all wasn't a terrible idea. It's just the execution of these both led to the wrong thing because unfortunately, both of them led to Vox. And that was where the issue comes in. Because it's Vox. And Charlie, this entire time, has just not been understanding how fucked up, evil, and manipulative Vox is. She's just not been getting that through her head. Unfortunately, Vaggie, who has seemed to understand that, kind of fell in that trap this episode as well. Sending Lucifer to do it just because he's the king of hell and everything, not a good idea. He even told her it's like he can't smite people. That's like not something he can do. But she still pushed him into going, and like when she told him of like Charlie being harassed by Vox, like yeah, of course that's going to get him to go. But yeah, it's like he didn't help in the matters either. It was the execution of things. Both Vaggie and Charlie needed to think things through better, and they just didn't. And I know there are some people who are going to be like bitching about the way Charlie's been acting and everything, but I think that this is reasonable for how she's been characterized in season 1 and everything. Like, honestly, this is how Charlie would react and act towards things. She hasn't taken a step back with her character. This is her character. I think people just aren't understanding that or just don't like that. And that's fine if you don't like that. But trying to say that this is like out of character for her is just not true. Again, this is her character. Hyperfixating on all of this because of her excitement over it, but also her need to prove herself right, is absolutely something she would do. Falling into someone's manipulations, 100%. It's like this is who Charlie is. And Vaggie was at this point getting so sick of it that she went to the only person above Charlie. She went to the only person who would be able to possibly do something about Vox. But unfortunately, again, it wasn't as well thought through as it should have been. And Lucifer's just not the smartest person to go to about this kind of stuff. He acts without thinking himself. And so this leading to Charlie having a fallout with him, with Vaggie, and everything just going wrong makes sense. It just tracks. And it sucks. It sucks bad. We wish that this didn't happen, but again, this is the low point. And that means that we're going to start working our way up from here. Now, I was thinking that Vox was not going to be the final villain of this season. I was thinking it was going to end up being Loot, but that might not be the case. Loot might not actually be that much of a threat this season, or maybe that'll be like the big kicker at the end. Maybe she'll like start to become the threat for next season at the end of this one. That's a possibility. After this episode, I definitely think Vox is the main villain of this season, not just like a recurring villain throughout it. So I think I was just wrong there, which I'll admit to. Like, I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. We didn't get a lot of Alistair this episode. We got a tiny bit of him, like a single scene. But he's still biding his time. Again, I don't know what his overall goal is here or how it's going to get him out of his contract, but I'm very curious to find out. Um, and then it's just like, after that, I don't know. I don't know what else is going to happen this season, or like, because after this, like, this was episode 5. We have 6, 7, and 8. We only have 3 episodes. So we're going to have to start, like, pushing towards the wrap up of this. And considering the fact that, like, Heaven is now going to be even more on lockdown because, like, Hell has declared war on them officially. Well, Vox has, but considering his influence, it basically is tantamount to the same thing. Um, that's not going to be good for either side. And now, obviously, if they have Heaven locked down, that's not going to, like, allow Vox to do much of anything. But what if Loot fucked that up somehow? Because we know she wants to kill all the sinners, and especially, like, those at the hotel. So what if she fucks this up somehow and escalates things further? Because that's the only way I can see at this point Vox and them actually being able to do anything. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Um, like I said, I'm gonna try to spread out this episode into the next a little more, as much as possible. But it's like I'm really invested in seeing where this goes, which, not a surprise or anything. But we'll see. We'll see. You'll still see this every week. None of that is changing. So, yeah. Um, and also, on that regard, with the last 2 episodes of the season, I'm probably going to do them one a week still. I'm probably not going to do the last 2 episodes together like I do for a lot of shows. I want to stretch this out on the channel for as long as possible. So, yeah. That's how I'm planning to have it go. But we shall see. We shall see how everything goes. And yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff that I just didn't mention or talk about. So if there's anything that you wanted to hear my thoughts on specifically, feel free to ask in the comments below. Obviously, by the time this goes up on the channel, I'll have seen this many, many more times. So yeah, just feel free to ask. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.